Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. Look, we got knocked out of the Champions League by PSG and I'm sure we're all licking our wounds. We got the Carabao EFL Cup final to look forward to on Sunday. Trent Alexander-Arnold is injured, no backup right back with Gomez and Bradley out injured as well. Salah seems to be the main man on the big occasion, but he's fluffed his lines on just a few of those big occasions. You look at the Champions League final, it was Sadio Mane who got us the penalty and Salah converting. He even changed his mind on the penalty kick, but still blasted it past Hugo Lloris. In the Carabao EFL Cup final, it was Tsimikas to Van Dijk to win us that particular cup. Salah is probably the biggest legend out of the front three. Firmino, Mane and Salah, right? Top three with King Kenny and Stevie G. However, in my opinion, Salah is the biggest legend. Probably Firmino is my favourite of the three. The game intelligence, the work rate, the unselfish behaviour, always never kicked up a fuss, his creativity and magic moments. But Sadio Mane was the best of the three in their prime. And I think there's a lot more behind the offensive prowess of the two different teams, the front three of Jurgen Klopp and the front six that we currently got under Arne Slot. And when you go into the proper analysis of it, this is nowhere near an ideal Arne Slot team. He inherited a team to gauge out the personalities, the competencies, the attributes and the profiles of the players in training, day in, day out, behind the scenes, what they can do on the pitch in his system, influencing them with his new approach. And now he's had the time to figure out which players he can trust, which players he can depend on, which players can play in his style, and where the obvious gaps are in the team, as well as which positions can be improved. So we're going to analyze the transfer strategy going into the summer transfer window and why there's currently an over-reliance by key players on Salah pulling something out of the hat, and when push comes to shove in the biggest moments, like in the Champions League against a dominant opponent. Now fair play to PSG, right? It's not that Liverpool played bad and we couldn't step up. When a team are on it like PSG with the talent they've got and a wily, capable, experienced league winning manager, Champions League winning manager like Luis Enrique, then these moments happen and you need certain players to step up and certain attributes in the squad that we're currently missing. So let's get into some of the screenshots of the match to show you what I'm talking about. So we know that Mo Salah is having one of the greatest seasons of any footballer anywhere on earth in the history of football, right? The metrics in terms of goals, in terms of assists, penalty conversions, it's all there. We know he's aging, he's getting slower, he's had to become more of a pseudo playmaker between the lines as well. This shot right here, very, very important at 0-0. If he converts this, we're well on our way, and I think we steamroll PSG. The heads will go down at Anfield. The crowd will get behind us. We needed to give the cop, the travelling fans, all of the fans that go to the stadium, an excuse to absolutely lift off the roof and erupt at Anfield, okay? Mo Salah has two shots, and he's always had two key shots. There's the first difference between Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, okay? Fairly or unfairly, Mo Salah can cut inside and whip the shot with curl, a curled shot, a curler into the left-hand side of the goal. Hopefully high, hopefully in the corner, hopefully in the side of net. Sometimes low, gives the keeper a chance, but he whips it with curl into the side of shot. He hasn't got a rocket shot. He's only really hit one absolute thumper against Chelsea, and then he did the yoga pose, right, with the knee up as well. Or it is a rifled shot into the front post. Mo Salah does not have a powerful shot. He does not have a great shot. He's not got the most accurate shot. Sadio Mane has an amazing right-footed rifled shot, left-footed rifled shot, right-footed curler, left-footed curler, toe poke of doom, like the finger poke of doom in NWO wrestling history, WCW. Sadio Mane can absolutely, by hook or by crook, welly it on the volley from a standing start, straight, Van der Kunt style. You saw against Manchester City. He's done it with the left foot, he's done it with the right foot. He's got aerial dominance, absolute huge spring, and a fantastic header. This is just finishing. Sadio Mane has every finish in the book. Mo Salah has two reliable finishes. Where Mo Salah excels and outranks Sadio Mane is with movement off the ball. He is one of the greatest in history at hitting the space in the right time and being in the right place at the right time, which is why he gets so many goals. He's not a striker. He's a wide forward, aka a winger, but a winger that cuts inside, inverted winger. And he's in the right place at the right time, and he's a better playmaker. Okay, now look at this clip. Instantly, you know the space is in the right-hand side, but Donnarumma is already on his feet, and they're going to close the ball. Is that Pacho or Nuno Mendes? They are going to close that side to try and block it, and eventually number 25 gets a block on the ball. The intelligent thing to do as we roll on the clips, right, you can see them scuttling away. There's a huge gap in between the two PSG defenders trying to get close, right? Get close to involved in the play. Donnarumma and I think it's Mendes. Is Mendes number 25? Are trying to cover that front post. If you're going for that near rifled shot, which you are entitled to, you got to get some loft on it. You got to chip it. You got to finesse it into the side of the net or close enough that Donnarumma can't get fingertips to it and the defender's trailing leg can't get a block on it. He doesn't get it high enough. It's a great block. The smarter thing to do, and probably what a Firmino does, is to wait till they've overextended themselves to that corner and just roll it into the far corner against the direction that the goalkeeper and defender coming in, right? Salah misses the first shot. Sure, he's made the right choice. The execution wasn't there. The execution of a shot isn't the best thing. Let's look at the next clip as well. The next clip. Now, a flying, hurtling, scuttling winger has all that space to drive on with pace, with a step over, with a trickery, to isolate the defender in the penalty area where they can't commit and close in tight. But Salah no longer has the acceleration or the top speed or the confidence in his dribbling, because Salah, in all fairness, has never been the ultimate dribbly, jinky winger. He's not the Neymar style. He can't run with pure control like a Messi. He's good at chopping it in, chopping it out, very one-footed on the left. The right foot is only good enough to put the ball into a position to maneuver it again with the left. He has to jink, and chop, and he doesn't do it at speed as well. He can't carry the ball with speed. A frustrating aspect of Salah's game, especially in his aging days, although he's still very, very fit and unlimited stamina as well, is the fact that he just can't dribble effectively. Now, when you know you can't dribble effectively, it means the defender always has a chance to get back involved in the play, and he's got a street ball and dirt ball bit, and that's why his playmaking has had to improve to such an extent. Otherwise, he'd be marginalised out of the game. Also, Salah only plays in one position. He only plays right wing and trying to get into his inside forward position, the game-winning scenario where he can play make Trivela outside the foot, left-footed cross, which he's fantastic at, by the way. But he needs a yard of space, he needs willing runners, and he needs the right profile of player in and around him and in front of him to give him that space and that position to dominate. But the thing is, you know what he's always going to do. He's not going to burst into the box and exert himself and put himself in 1v1 because he's not very strong in a 1v1, in all honesty, unless he's very, very in close proximity where he can jink and jink out and then has to make end product here. So we see him step, we see him stand up the ball, and as we know, he's trying to cut inside here. Now, what are the options? Very limited options, and straight away you can see he's going to be crowded out by a bunch of us. Look at this image. All he can do, he can't get a shot underway, he's going to get blocked, is to hit a through ball, hit and hope to Diogo Jota, who's actually made a fantastic run. If it gets through, Jota's a starter with a snapshot, may do something, it might be blocked again. But he gets lucky. The ball rebounds off the defender into the perfect position here, central of the goal, on his strong foot with the ball under control. He's at least got to hit the target, and he does not have the shooting accuracy to hit the target. And even if he hits the target, sometimes it's a pee-wee roller, a daisy cutter, grass cutting roller to the goalkeeper, a nice pass to the goalkeeper, right? So he's not a great shooter. He's a volume shooter with great accuracy when he's in a perfect position, but his accuracy is dwindling for the fact that you'd expect him to at least hit the target on many occasions where he's outright missed the whole frame of the goal or ballooned it over. Okay, so he's very one-dimensional in coming inside, shooting far post with a curler, or trying to rifle it front post. Okay, he's not the greatest poacher either. So in his advancing years, opposition can set up in a way to either limit his ability to get into those positions, but because he's so good and his off-the-ball movement and his timing is so good, he will get in those positions, but the power and the finesse isn't there, so the goalkeeper more than likely knows where he's going to put the shot. Okay. And the other issue we have is if you have Mo Salah doing that, that's all well and good. If you have unpredictability and variety in your forward line to take the other shots. Now, I mentioned Sadio Mane, left foot, right foot, aerial ability, can make the darting run. Darting run and penetrative runs are something we're massively missing at the moment. A Stevie G run from midfield, Fernando Torres run in behind. Nunes can run in behind, but you know what? For all his top pace, his top speed, his acceleration is lacking. Soboslai is the one that can accelerate into the box, as I'll show you in the first few moments of the game. And if we don't have someone that runs in behind with quick acceleration, because Jota's top speed and acceleration isn't the best, although he has the variety. He has the Mane left foot, the Mane right foot, and the aerial ability, right? But he doesn't have, I would say, the power, the acceleration to get in a position. You remember my Dominic Soboslai video. You need the acceleration to get yourself in the position to give yourself a chance to use the shot variety that you have, right? We have some long shots in a team, some long shooting ability, which means the opposition can't just stand off and crowd your space. The long shot shooting ability are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alexis McAllister, and Dominic Soboslai. But for Dominic Soboslai's rifled shot, he doesn't use it enough, and on occasion he does use it. For some reason, with all his technical prowess and ball striking ability, he doesn't seem to connect properly. He hits the first man time and time again. He doesn't get the right elevation and he doesn't get the right trajectory. Either misses the frame of the post, which you shouldn't do when you're shooting with that much power. You have more margin for error inside the goalpost because it'll still probably get in with that amount of power. Or the flighted technique to just caress it into the side of net, which he can do because he's got minimal backlift. But it was actually Trent Alexander-Arnold who's showcasing the striking technique, and Alexis McAllister, who has probably the more accurate and I would say the more goal-threatening long shot for the fact that he actually gets it on target, and on the occasion it gets into that position because he finds it hard with the acceleration aspect. You really need Dominic Szoboszlai to step up, especially if he starts number 10. The two number 10s of an Arna slot machine system are a through ball merchant, an absolute playmaking don at the top. Think of your Zico, your Zito, even a Kaká. Zidane can do it on occasion. Rui Costa does it on more of occasion. Even the lesser players, right, who can do this kind of things. Vikash Dorasu at AC Milan does that kind of thing as well. Your kind of playmakers in that pocket position, but 10 is the hardest position, so you're going to need a specialist player. We'll come on to players like Cunha in a bit as well, maybe João Pedro as well. We'll look at that kind of prototype in a bit, and I will be doing the Salesforce algorithm checks on the forwards that would fit on the slot system, be value for money, and be Liverpool's type of profile as well. Coming up, you remember the video I did to showcase the power of a CRM, right? A content management system, CMS, content management system, CRM, customer relationship management, but we're talking more about the players holistically, the tangible attributes that we can put together to put a profile in front of the FSG Michael Edwards board and get them signed as well. But we're missing finishing new and variety, even though we have ability. Cody Gakpo has the rifled shot cutting in from the left, but he was definitely not match fit, and it has to be on the right foot as well. He doesn't really have a left foot. Bobby Firmino, for all his talents as well, he's my favourite player out of the three. He did not have a good shot. I don't want anyone to rewrite history here. He did not have power on the shot. He had a good right-footed shot. His left foot was very lacking as well, scored on occasion. His heading ability was underrated, but he did not have a powerful shot. It wasn't like a Felipe Coutinho, absolute smasher, scorcher, rifled shot, curling, dynamic shot. It was an okay shot. And he's got good placement. He just did not have power in the shot, Bobby Firmino, not something he was gifted with. But he had variety and he had a chip as well. Darwin Núñez actually has a shot variety, right? But when he has time to think, he makes the wrong decision. And when he doesn't have time to think as well, a lot of times he's unlucky. But also he's got a technical flaw in the way that when he does take the shot, he's not always positioned optimally to slot it in. And he hasn't got the best composure. He's actually more game intelligent than you think, making the right runs. But all the pieces of the puzzle, the Darwin Núñez beautiful diamond attribute model, just they don't seem to fit together to make the perfect striker. And you've got players like Alexander Isak, who lighting up a Newcastle season, amazing. Thierry Henry prototype coming in from left-hand side. Big issues with Isak though for the Liverpool system. Not just the transfer fee, which you could actually build a stronger squad in the absence of signing Isak, signing 2 or 3 other players, but also the position he plays and his injury metrics. We'll look at it in the database video I'm going to do as well. So for all these things combined, Chiesa has the penetrating runs and the finishing off both sides, but fairly selfish, doesn't connect into play, isn't the best presser, and hasn't been given a chance by Arne Slot to show what he can do. Sure, it's a Premier League title winning, hopefully, fingers crossed, touchwood, almost there, season. Whether he stays to show his talents next season or whether he's fed up and leaves or whether he doesn't suit the system, we'll see in the summer as well. Diogo Jota is very marginalised in a way that he's probably going to be a super sub. Now, before he joined, he was a mercurial, hot and cold dribbling merchant with a good shot at Wolves with no fixed position. He's a striker who playmakes between the lines in Liverpool because he can't run in behind. He's got a great shot, can convert, but he hasn't scored for a long time and he's been massively off form. And his injuries, no matter how unlucky with someone landing on him, I think it was Levi Colwill, doesn't inspire confidence. You can't rely on him. And on the biggest occasions, in the biggest of matches as well, when he starts as well, he's been fairly on the peripheries of the match, hasn't really influenced it. Anonymous against PSG once again. But we lack the playmaker to feed in the Nunes and Jota. So if Sot does sign a playmaker, and I've been advocating for that top cream of the crop. The cream of the crop! Number 10, ahead of a left back. Sure, a fantastic left back, a talented left back. Nuri, Milas Kirkish, Anthony Robinson. And there's actually 2 of the 4 left backs that we've been heavily linked with that make a lot more sense than the other ones. Rewatch that video I did on left backs if you haven't already. I'll link it at the end of this video, by the way. Sure, a 6 would be great because basically it's Gravenberch playing 80 minutes, but no matter what 6 we sign, Arne Slot will continue to play Gravenberch and kind of burn him out as well. It's not that Endo isn't trusted, it's just that Slot is in love with Gravenberch as he is with Mo Salah. Doesn't take them off at all. A bit of a fault with Arne Slot, but you know, everyone's got their own preferences and managerial style. Sure, he's kept them fit, but they're burned out and deflated a little bit as well. But I think Arne Slot really needs a number 10 to unlock the system. Luis Diaz is very culpable of running into dead ends. He hustles, he bustles, he gives 100%. We love his effort, we love his energy, we love his runs, but he's not direct. Now, the Kvicha-Kvaratskhelia comparison with Lucho Diaz is very appropriate for the fact that Kvicha almost always gets in a position to have a goal threat. And you can't say the same with Lucho Diaz. When he actually got to the byline and pulled it back, we got the Nunes goal, right? Intelligent running, byline, hit it back, classic wing play, great. But Lucho Diaz has no left-footed shot at all. Cannot do anything with the left foot on a shot. Very one-dimensional on the right-footed dribble as well, and dribbles himself into cul-de-sacs and corners. Can't beat a man, ever since his injury, can't beat the man with the dribble. Really skilled him up and get past him. He can dribble to move away from the tackle, but he doesn't really penetrate. We lack that penetration. The Sadio Mane penetration, even the Oxlade-Chamberlain penetration to get a shot underway, right? We really lack that from midfield, except for when Gravenberch does his little jinky run through the middle, power, pace, finesse, and poise, but he couldn't do it against PSG, either fatigued or he just couldn't get around Vitinha and João Neves in that midfield. Like someone like Desiree Doué, who I actually earmarked before he joined PSG as an ideal 10 for Liverpool as well. Ryan Cherky was an alternative, but Doué is better. We don't have the penetration and we don't have that direct route to goal. We don't have the long shooting ranging ability. We don't have people with powerful shot. The only ones who can shoot up front are Jota and Gakpo. Jota needs to get in position and be slid through, and Gakpo can do it on his own, but he's off colour at the moment. Gakpo is very, very effective. He's a direct wing as well. I love that. But if you're playing Mo Salah with an inside playmaking kind of forward positioning, you're going to need a big goal threat, which is why Gakpo is a perfect foil for him. You can't always slide a rule ball, a diagonal through ball to Luis Diaz or Salah to do something with. We need those tap-ins. We need those poachers goals, those predatory goals. We need to get the strikers in front of goal time and time again. We're even lacking on set pieces this season. Van Dijk talking to the PSG chairman and sporting director as well. Who knows whether it's going to be resale, but look at this, okay? If you sign Isak, our front line looks powerful and almighty. But if Isak gets injured, and he does get injured quite a lot, muscular problems, then what? You're back to the same forward line and the same predictable lineup. Mo Salah wants a contract at Liverpool, wants to stay, beaten all metrics. But this is maybe his greatest season of all time, and people want to reward him for that, and rightly so, okay? And I think the right thing to do is to renew his contract. But what if you give him the contract on reasonable terms, 300k a week, 2 years with an extension of 1, but he wants 3 years of an extension of 1, or he wants 400k, or he wants image rights, or whatever. There's got to be a point where you say, going with Mo Salah is logical, and it'll help continuity, it'll help the back room, his professionalism. He's going to score goals no matter what, even if somewhat predictable, if you build a team in and around him. And that's another point in around Salah and Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane as well. I believe Mane can play in any system. because of his raw attributes in his prime. Mo Salah needs a system that makes up for his defensive frailties, even though he does defend, and when he does defend, he's quite effective. But he can't defend for 90 minutes like a Mane or Luis Diaz does these days. And we need him in that transition and the game-winning position. But the team has to be built to get him in that inside forward position again and again and again, knowing that he's one-dimensional in cutting inside, going for a shot or playmaking. He can't go around the outside. He cannot go around the outside. In the world where you offer Mohamed Salah 300k, right, and 2 years plus one, and he still rejects, there's also a right option in replacing him with the same amount of money. Look, you're going to lose him on a free. That's painful. Trent might go on a free. That's painful as well. We've got Conor Bradley in the wings. And speaking of the Carabao Cup final, I'm digressing, jumping back and forth, but Endo can play fullback as well. Joe Quansah played quality as a fullback against PSG. Almost came close to putting us through with a header that was inches away. McAllister offside on the follow-up. We have options there. Curtis Jones started as a right back for Arne, and he started as a right back for Jurgen Klopp. I think one occasion each. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone let me know in the comments below. Speaking of which, smash a like. Pause the video to smash a like now and drop a comment what you think I'm talking about. Am I talking complete shiz, or do you agree with some points? Let's talk about this point. John Barnes, in today's modern day and age, because I had loads of good chat and banter on Discord, by the way. Join the Discord. John Barnes, in today's day and age, in Salah's position, with today's tactics, with today's, criteria and today's fitness standards and professionalism, do you think John Barnes could do as well as Mo Salah or even do better than him? Or is Mo Salah simply a better player than John Barnes in that position, that right wing forward position? John Barnes cutting inside left foot, playmaking ability, shooting ability, all of that. Who would perform better in this day and age? It's a hypothetical. It's good to theorize. John Barnes or Mo Salah in that right wing position, cutting as an inside forward. That's an interesting hypothetical, right? But yeah, let's say Mo Salah does leave onto pastures new. Saudi Arabia pays him that bag of money. With the same amount of money you'd pay him in wages and image rights and the renewal, the signing on fee. People underestimate the signing on fee. He would be signing on for about 10 million quid, no doubt, plus his wages and all that. I think you could sign Brian Mbeumo, Eberechi Eze, right? Antoine Semenyo. Real direct players. Mohamed Kudus of West Ham. You could probably sign 2 of the 4 with the same finances you pay Salah, and then use some of your transfer budget to sign the 3rd one. You could even probably throw Anthony Gordon out of the mix. Now, with Anthony Gordon, Mbeumo, Semenyo, Kudus, you have unpredictability, you have pace to go around the outside, you have playmaking ability, you have a hard shot with the left, you have a hard shot with the right. Mixed bag in aerial ability, but you have more threats and more options. Would Liverpool's squad look better and be more strong? You can't just say, well, take Salah's goals out of it, then what happens? It doesn't work like that. There's always 11 men on the pitch. Where you miss in Salah, you gain in something else. Intangible attributes, personnel, options off the bench, youth, haven't yet hit their prime, ability to do things in a better team as well. You don't know what will happen. And under the guidance of a tactical manager, an astute manager like Arne Slot, who's shown that he's tactically good, although he does have some flaws, we'll get into that in a different video, is the world a better place? Now imagine that Luis Diaz goes as well, because his market value will still be high. His output is very low. He's a very hot and cold player that's not direct, and it takes a long time for Luis Diaz to, when he has the ball, to do anything before there's a goal conversion opportunity, whether he passes it or whether he shoots. He stands the ball up too much. He holds the ball a long time. He hasn't got the vision and the creativity, but he plucks away. He's hardworking, and he is a game winner. He's a mercurial talent, but on the periphery of the game. He's not a Rafinha, and he's not a Lamine Yamal, who when they get the ball, one thought in mind, goal or assist. He is a street baller, a very effective street baller. Before the injuries, could cut inside and blast it, but he's got a curling shot. I'm a little bit tired, in all honesty, when I coach my players as well. I'm a little bit tired of relying on the curled shots. The Salah from the right curling into the left corner. The Diaz from the left curling into the right corner. I want to see some thunderbolts, some deflected shots, some scrappy shots, some tap-ins, some poaches, right? Cute through ball, poaching ability. Round the outside, pull it back for tap-in. Like what we saw with Luis Diaz to Darwin Núñez. Now, there's a conundrum. If they could do that consistently and play for like that consistently, then we are multifaceted and multi-threatening. But when Diogo Jota needs to be slotted in, right, or he needs to work a yard of space himself, when Darwin Núñez is feeding off scraps and no balls in behind as well, no pullbacks, because you've seen how effective Núñez is with pullbacks. He looks, he looks absolute shell of himself because we're not playing to his strengths. We play to Mohamed Salah's strengths for good reason, because he always delivers and always converts. But in the highest echelons of world football, against the Real Madrid, right? Against the Real Madrid and against the PSG, when they have enough quality, personnel, luck, prestige and heritage to mark out your one game plan and your one best players, you need the other options to step up, and we'd lack the variety at the moment. So I would almost be comfortable thanking Mohamed Salah for all his service, proposing the 300k 2 years plus one, because we don't know what's happening behind the scenes and what's proposed. We do know something's been proposed, but he hasn't accepted it so far. And if he doesn't take it, say thank you for everything. Look, we've given you a very fair offer. The way forward with Mohamed Salah is the right way, but the way forward with Mohamed Salah is also the right way if he doesn't accept reasonable terms, and we can go with new impetus, with a new direction. Semenyo, Mbeumo, even Matoma. You know, you've seen the effect Pedro Neto's had at Chelsea. Direct, going for goal, penetrating runs, that kind of thing. Goal threat from midfield, attacking midfielder, number 10. I'm sure we will sign a quality number 10. I'll do a database video on that as well. Okay, Lucho Diaz, I think, moves on. Diogo Jota, I think, is at risk. If he's satisfied with being a bench player, a bit part player, will start on the occasion, and that we need a goal and we need a predator and a poacher with attributes, and we can get in those positions, as I mentioned, behind the back lines or playmaker close to thread and through. He's effective, but he can't be relied on. I think Joe Gomez is at threat as well. I think Darwin Núñez probably moves on to pastures new as well. Couldn't hit the heights and potential because the team isn't set up for him to succeed. Could a team with Darwin Núñez succeed if Mo Salah isn't the main man and everything's played for him? Potentially as well. But that's another thing. All the players, no matter their quality, captain of Hungary, Dominik Szoboszlai, right? All these players looked to Mo Salah to make something happen. The only other player that I think tries to make something happen on their own is Trent Alexander-Arnold. On occasion, Alexis McAllister as well. On occasion, Gravenberch. Because they have the techers and the skill sets, McAllister, World Cup winner, carried the Argentinian midfield, Rodrigo de Paul and Enzo Fernandez. It adds the balance, right? I think Szoboszlai sometimes cops out in taking the responsibility to be the man, the absolute man with a plan, the front man, right? Trent Alexander-Arnold tried to do it against PSG. And isn't it funny that he's also one of those on the chopping block? And Virgil van Dijk as well. I think we'll renew. He's captain of the club, loves the club, Dutch manager, got everything he wants. He's playing the mind games in the media, saying, you know, anyone that's confirmed either way is an outright liar. I think Van Dijk will sign for sure. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this video as well and the prospective futures. Look, I'm going to stick to it. Salah is the biggest legend out of the front three. Absolutely breaks all records. Phenomenal player. Bobby Firmino was my favourite player, my type of player, the genius, the brains. But he wasn't the original deep lying forward. I said it in my Discord chat, and I'm doing it in my new book as well. My book, Substance in Abundance, Football Tactics Made Simple, will help you understand the game of football in a different way. I'm still working on it. I'm about 30% of the way through. When it's done and released, you'll be the first to know. Please support me on that as well. I'll put my heart and soul into helping you guys understand football tactics and seeing it in a different perspective. It's not always where the camera pans and where the ball is. It's how the opposition set up and what you're likely to do in the game-winning scenarios. Bobby Firmino was my favourite of the bunch, but Nandor Hidekuti was the original deep-lying forward. He really was for the Magic guys in Hungary. Does everything Firmino does, probably a little bit better as well. Sadio Mane was the best in his prime. In any given team, Sadio Mane could be dropped in and he'd perform because he's got the highest acceleration, the highest pace, the highest aggression, the best aerial ability, the best long shot, the best short shot, the best predatory instincts. Left foot and right foot, can play left wing, can play right wing, defends, pressures. He pressures like Firmino, two of them being the best, and he tracks back and defends Robertson. He defended Robertson with his life. He fought to the very end, an absolute lion, a majestic player. They're all 10 out of 10 players. Salah is 10 out of 10. Firmino, 10 out of 10. Mane, 10 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like if you haven't already. Subscribe. There's a channel, Substance in Abundance. And yeah, have a great day, everyone. Let's win the EFL Carabao Cup final. Get everyone back on board and cheering for Liverpool. We deserve trophies. We deserve multiple trophies. Domestic double doesn't hurt. Arne Slot's first season. Up the shiny one. Till next time, Miyazaki-man, Ichiban. It means the best. Janet means ciao.